Hi there, beautiful people. Welcome back to the Wisdom Therapist and Wisdom Daily. Today we're going to actually use, once again, our common knowledge, our universal knowledge, and we're going to read some answers from Quora, which are some great news, and I will tell you at the end my 2 cents. I will end to 2 cents with some of the wisdom techniques that we've been developing over the years. So, let's go after it. How do you know when is time to quit your job and focus on your business? So to all the people out there who wants to quit their job and chase and going after their business, this is the question for them. And again, we have a great answer from Bernie Klinder, who is a serial entrepreneur, investor, and consultant. And he writes, to make the leap to full-time entrepreneur, you need to figure out two things. How much money do you need to live and exceed your work income? And how far you can scale your business if you worked it full-time? Most people underestimate the first and overestimate the second. Some thoughts. Your income requirements isn't what you're being paid today. It's at least twice that amount. What most people don't consider is the amount of self-employment tax and the cost of medical benefits, which can be very expensive. That's true. For most companies, the fully burdened cost of an employee is at least 1.5 times their salary. That's actually true, and for most countries in the world at least. Revenue numbers. $500 a day are pointless. The only number that matters is net profit. Gross profit is sales minus cost of the jewelry. Net profit is gross profit minus all the other expenses. Listing fees, marketing, shipping, your salary and other labor costs, taxes, internet connection, equipment costs, benefits, etc. I am troubled by the sentiment, if I have time to list. People find time to train for marathons while working full-time. You can certainly carve out 12 to 20 hours a week to focus on your business. Otherwise, you aren't ready to be an entrepreneur. Instead of ever saying, I don't have the time, start saying, it's not a priority. And see how that change shifts how you think about things. Schedule a week of vacation from your job and focus on your business full-time to see how much revenue you can generate. That's a great advice. Compare what you thought you would make versus what you actually did make. This is the fact checking from. This can also be used as fact checking from Wisdom CBT. Was the difference positive or negative? Repeat the process again. Did you improve? Is this sustainable? Did you gain new customers? Or was this all repeat business to existing customers? So, if your net profit cash flow is positive and enough to cover your salary and benefits, then you have a good chance of making this your full-time job. Of course, if you want to have a full-time job. Now you have to think through how to scale your business. Could you handle 10 times or even 100 times the number of orders you have now? I would focus on all your free time and energy for the next few months on proving this out and growing your business. When you have enough cash after taxes to have 6 months salary in the bank and steady income stream from your business to cover your full expenses, then I would make the leap. Until then, keep working at it part-time and refine your business process. Good luck. Hope this was helpful. Yes, I do believe that this is a very helpful advice, and this advice can actually help a lot of people, a lot of you good people out in the world, to know when is the right time to make that cherished leap. Let's look at some more answers. Let's look what Hector Quintanilla has to say. He's founder at bebusinesssmart.com. Congratulations on your business and 4 years of hard work. Fantastic. With the limited information we have, it seems like you found a good niche. Your eBay reputation must be growing and you're doing things right. To answer your question, should you quit your job? Your decision should be not based on how much you sell. It should be based on how much you are being able to keep after all your expenses have been paid every month. If you're buying and selling expensive jewelry, your cost of goods sold could be high, but I have the feeling that you're selling relative cheap jewelry that you are designing yourself with very high margins. If that's so, consider these questions. Could you hire an employee to do some of your work? Could you outsource some of your work? Have you considered selling in other marketplaces? Have you created your own website? How could you increase your buying power to increase your margins? Could you create your own brand? Could you use affiliates to sell more product? What will hold you back if you could double or triple your sales in 1 month? What would be your bottleneck? What are your cash reserves if something goes wrong? These are all very important questions, and it's very interesting to see. Bottom line, I suggest you get a trustworthy business coach before you take that big step. Discuss your situation with your loved ones, people you can trust. It's not an easy answer, but I think I gave you enough to ask yourself before you take the leap. Let this be a decision based on facts, not emotions. Okay, this last part I do agree with. It's very important to have the facts before you have the emotions. Even though life is much more than facts, and sometimes life can, a lot of the times, life can surprise us, actually. So, a lot of the times you will see that things do not work out as you have planned, and there are a lot of more of energies going on around that are making our lives uh, different that we planned to be. Most of the times, the people that we love and that our partners won't support us. So that's important to know whether or not we are doing the right thing and whether or not we have the internal power and the internal drive to continue doing this work, even if there will come a time where things will seem hard. So, another answer from an anonymous. As a failed entrepreneur, I have learned this important lesson. Only take the leap into full-time entrepreneurship when the income from your side business exceeds the income from your job. Smart answer. And before you take the leap, make sure that you have saved as much money as possible. 6 months, a year worth of expenses at a minimum. And you have plans in place for living below your means while you're working to grow your business. When you jump into full-time entrepreneurship, you really have to do everything you can to cut living costs. Maybe moving out of your ultra expensive apartment to a cheaper one, etc. If you don't do these things, money will get very tight for you very quickly after you lose the regular paycheck. Many issues bring about stress, which is true, loss of creativity, and an inability to focus on anything but how you're going to pay your bills. You don't want that to happen to you. That question I like. It's very real. And this is also jewelry business. So is it the 500 per day a regular occurrence or happens intermittently? You would also need to examine the business model you have in place and the amount of traffic from your eBay account generates to decide if your current revenue trend is likely to go on for a long time. That's important to know when we cut out the revenue from other factors. Okay, we have from Joseph Stallman, works at web marketing, a very quick answer. Only when your business starts to give you the income you need to survive, after quitting your job, you can focus more on business and make your business give you more. So, essentially, all those people have given us great answers, and I do believe that it's especially important to go prepared into business, not so much financially, but psychologically. So we have to know that we are going to endure, even though we are going to be without money, even though there are going to be psychological pressure. And but do remember that no diamond gets created without pressure. So the more pressure we have in life, the more of a diamond we will become. And that's something to keep in mind when we're going after it. A lot of the times what happens? We get anxious, we get depressed, we get fear, we get all those negative emotions that are blocking us. So at that time, what do? How do we help ourselves? So one way to deal with this is to learn some tools to help us in this way of thinking, to get a coach, of course, a business coach, as our friend here, Hector, told us. So there are a lot of options, and the best question is, do you really like the work that you're doing? Because you're going to have a lot of work to do. So hope you enjoyed this short video. I hope I brought you some value, and until next time, I wish you a great time. Mwah.